So, hey there, all you wonderful imagination connoisseurs, you members of this nerd nation. What do you think would happen if someone pitched a movie about a half Japanese hero, rock star, brain surgeon, particle physicist, and his battle against aliens from Planet 10 by way of the eighth dimension? Well, these days they'd probably get laughed right out of the building, but back in 1984, it became just another August release in a summer that was just packed with hits. I'm, of course, talking about The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai across the eighth dimension.
Not for while you can, monkey boy.
I'm going to say, forget everything you think you know about science fiction. Buckaroo Banzai isn't just a movie. It's an experience, a genre bending, mind twisting roller coaster ride of an experience that somehow manages to be both profoundly silly and just brilliantly insightful. And if you ever felt that mainstream science fiction is just too predictable, boring, or poorly written, prepare to have your world turned inside out.
Why is there a watermelon there?
I'll tell you later.
Buckaroo Banzai is a sci-fi action comedy written by Earl Mac Roche and directed by W.D. Richter. It was released on August 10th, 1984, in the hazy, lazy days of a summer packed with hits, including Star Trek III: The Search for Spock, Ghostbusters, Indiana Jones, and the Temple of Doom, just to name a few. So it's kind of easy sometimes to look back and see why Buckaroo failed to get a foothold or even a toehold in the box office, bringing in only about, I think, $6 million on a $17 million budget.
Evil! Pure and simple from the eighth dimension!
Those who did make it out to the theater and saw the movie, they saw probably what could be described as the quintessential 80s movie. From the clothes to the music, saxophones were in every top 40 band back then, and the Hong Kong Cavaliers got a guy that plays two at once. The flick's also a Cold War critique that simultaneously has its roots planted in 1930s pulp. The movie opens up dumping the viewer into the action by way of a Star Wars style opening crawl that explains everything you need to know. It's almost as if it's like a middle chapter of some long running film or comic book series that the movie just expects us all to be familiar with at this point. Much like George Lucas did with Star Wars. Somehow, by the time we meet Buckaroo, played by Peter Weller, we've already witnessed him performing brain surgery, driving his jet car through a mountain, crossing over into the eighth dimension, before heading out with his band, the Hong Kong Cavaliers, to play a gig in New Jersey. The film moves on. He'll go on to fight interdimensional aliens from Planet 10. And in the end, spoilers, this ends up saving planet Earth from World War III. Yeah, the sheer awesome lunacy of this movie is a testament to the creative risk-taking and genre entertainment that you just don't see these days. Buckaroo Banzai encourages the viewer to embrace the strangeness and celebrate individuality, showing us that true genius, like this flick, often goes unappreciated in its own time. Of course, I've been a long-time fan of Buckaroo Banzai. I was even a member of the fan club back in the day, a Blue Blazer regular, as it were. Unfortunately for me, I never ended up seeing the movie in the theater, even though I had the chance. The one day, me and a buddy went, we were finally free to go see a flick that summer. We decided to boldly go see Star Trek III instead. Eventually, we saw it about a week after it released on video, renting it on VHS from our local video store. And I remember just being so disappointed. I was like, oh, disappointed that we missed out on seeing it on the big screen. We were so excited at the end, seeing that there was going to be a sequel that would never come. Buckaroo Banzai against the World Crime League. But wait, it did come, sort of, in the form of this hefty 2021 novel by Earl Mac Roche. If you ever wondered about the further adventures of Dr. Banzai and his eclectic crew, well, pick this book up. You'll not be disappointed. And speaking of books, there wasn't a great deal of merchandise released for the film. Not everything got an action figure line like Star Wars. God, can you imagine how cool a Banzai figure line would have been? 3 3/4 inch scale with the jet car and thermopod accessories, Yo-Yodyne propulsion system playset like the old Kentner Death Star. Anyway, there was a Marvel Comics adaptation available in both two-issue miniseries and the single oversized Marvel Super Special number 33. There was also a novelization by Earl MacRush, not to mention the various home video releases on VHS, Betamax, Laserdisc, and eventually a terrific special edition DVD from 2002. DVD included an all-new anamorphic transfer of the flick at 2.35 to 1, and just heaps of great extras, including a fantastic commentary with the director and the writer, a documentary, an alternate opening, just tons of stuff. I think were all carried forward for the Shout Factory Blu-ray release, which they added a new 2-hour retrospective documentary for. I don't have that version, but I'm pretty sure both releases are currently OOP. So if you see them, grab them. But why did I like it? As a nerd, I love the science fiction elements, aliens, spaceships, the crazy technology, the oscillation overthruster. The characters, were different and original. Peter Weller, Jeff Goldblum, Clancy Brown, Ellen Barkin. They're all just terrific in this movie. John Lithgow is just fantastic. He's ridiculous as the villainous Lord John the Warfin. He just chews the scenery like no other baddie in recent memory in every scene he's in. Another thing that I like about it is the flick demands that the viewer pay attention. Pay attention to every scene. Listen to every line of dialogue. It's not a film you can watch while folding laundry or playing on your smartphone. You miss a scene here or a line of dialogue there, you might as well start the film all over again. Why are you playing on your phone and watching a movie at the same time, anyways? Who does that? What'd you all think? Did you manage to get lucky enough to see it in the theater in '84, or did you have to settle for it on VHS on a tiny screen like I did? And very many people did. I guess that's why it's the cult classic that it is to this day. And hey, if you like what you saw here, here's another video to check out. And please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. And I'll see all y'all in the next video. Later.
Easy, friend. Ha! Buckaroo Banzai!